Thank you very
Right.
much.
Okay.
I should have like a clicker, right?
What's the clicker? Here.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll talk later on about smart citizens. Thank you very much, Massimo, to remind that. And also, actually, it's a project that we want to collaborate with Arduino as well, as you know. So I'm going to talk a little bit about, I keep listening echo, it's just me. Okay, so the Fablab Barcelona was founded around between 7 or 6 years ago, and it's working inside the Institute for Advanced Architecture of Catalonia, which at that time was directed by Vicente Guallart. Remember this name of Vicente because I'm going to go back with that name again. And this is, more or less one of the first workshops that we ever did in the Fablab. It's a workshop with kids, and they had to laser cut their faces and to 3D print little objects designed by themselves. No? And this was in May 2007, if you remind very well. So this is the son of Vicente, is the guy with the red T-shirt, and now he's just have like his own movie company, no? So you can imagine how long it was ago. So this is the space, no? So it's inside an old warehouse in a 22-watt neighborhood. It's in an old industrial area that is now turning on into an innovative area full of technology. And I also am happy to see some of our former students of YAC that actually they are starting Fab Labs in Italy. And yeah, it's both happening, the world of architecture and design, but also we want to look beyond that, no? So what was initially a prototyping lab of an architecture school started to become something else, and that's what we call the Fab Lab. So we have this amazing warehouse in which we can make big things, and I will show you later on some of the projects that we do. But the idea is beyond the space itself and the machines and the technology is the thing what makes it possible. And actually this is an amazing amount of people that is day by day being part of a kind of family. The guys, they know what I'm talking about. The students are become also everyday makers in the Fab Lab. And there is no limit between who is running, who is the boss, who is not, who is cleaning, who is fixing the machine. So it's a complete interaction between the people and machines and making. So as I said, our Fab Lab is inside the Institute for Advanced Architecture of Catalonia. So the students, they don't learn only how to design buildings, but actually they even learn how to make the brick of the building and then convert it into something bigger. So it's this interaction between architecture and technology what makes it like a very special place, no? And more recently, we are going beyond of the common machines of the Fab Labs, and now we are starting to use robots to 3D print buildings, no? With this idea of not only thinking of the architecture just as a building itself, but actually thinking about which are the means of producing architecture. But as I said, our Fab Lab is beyond architecture and design. In our Fab Lab, we also launched it together with the Fab Lab Network, the Fab Academy. This was the first meeting back in 2008, in which we decided, okay, let's make like the biggest university of the world. That is the Fab Academy. Maybe Neil will talk better about that later. But it's now becoming really like the biggest university of the world. No? We have different Fab Labs in different countries, being part of on a unique educational program that is growing and growing every year. Of course, as I show in the first picture, we have a real engagement of teaching not only architects or designers or geeks, but actually, bringing the kids to be more familiar with the technology, and then, a 6 or 7 year old can learn how to fabricate their own circuit board and then program it and play with it. Some of the projects that we have worked, since I am in Italy, I wanted to show the Hyperhabitat. That is a project that we did also together with the Center for Bits and Atoms back in 2010. And we were in the Arsenale in the Venice Biennale. So we produced this huge installation using our laser cutter. We put it in a van, similar to the one that you are traveling around Europe. And then we bring it to Venice, you actually install it by yourselves. No? So it's this kind of making massive projects, big projects, all produced in the Fab Lab, together with the students and all the collaborators. Also, some of you might know also the Fab Lab House, a project that we did in 2010 for the Solar Decathlon competition, Solar Decathlon Europe, and in Madrid. This house was competing with other 20 universities that most of them were just boxes. So we decided to make a house that could be fabricated in any Fab Lab of the world. Actually, you can download the house from our wiki site. and fabricated in your Fablab, if you're eager to. So we lost the competition. We were the last ones, but we won the People's Choice Award. So people really felt the house as a familiar space to be, and we were making parties and, giving jamon and wine to people. So this is maybe why we lost, but we won the People's Choice Award. More recently, we did the second version of the house. This is the Endesa Pavilion that is now in the port of Barcelona, in one of the best spots of the city. So you can go and visit it right now. We are now also working in a 130 hectares land space in the biggest part of Barcelona, called Collserola, in which we are founding the Green Fab Lab. It's basically going to be like one of the biggest self-sufficiency research centers of Europe. As Massimo said, this is another project that we just launched. This is a Smart Citizen, a whole project incubated in the Fab Lab during the last 3 years, now in Kickstarter. So please, if you cannot be a backer, so please just tweet it or put it in your Facebook. But basically, we want to create like the biggest database of citizen-based censorship in the world. This is the last part of my presentation. This is the Deputy Mayor of Barcelona, Antoni Vives, launching the Fab City project in the Fab 7 conference in Lima. Basically, the idea of the Fab City is to bring back productivity into the city. So switch this model of consumption that we have been built during the last more or less 120 years, and giving the opportunity to people to get access to Fab Labs or maker spaces as a public service itself. It's almost like a right to be able to produce in the city. This is how it should look like in the next 4 or 6 years. And I would like to invite you to the Fab 10 conference and hopefully Maker Fair next year in Barcelona. And thank you very much.